It seems I'm always getting asked how I actually use my Presto pot for candle making. So I figured I would come on here and tell you guys what I do and let you in on how I use my Presto pot. So when I'm filling my Presto pot, I actually don't measure anything. I just put wax in here until it's full. And then even sometimes as it melts down, I'll go ahead and add some more wax to it. No measuring is done in my Presto pot, and I never put fragrance oil in my Presto pot either. My soy wax doesn't have a high temperature needed to actually melt it, so when it comes to melting, I don't even use any of those numbers. I try to stay between the A and the R, sometimes the R and the M, depending on how much wax I actually have inside. All my measuring is done when I actually go ahead and pour it out into my pouring pitcher. When I turn this on, it's at 0, so if I need 16 ounces for a few candles, that's what I'm going to be measuring out into here. Do keep in mind, though, the transfer of wax from your Presto pot into your pitcher does cool it rather quickly. So please make sure you're paying attention to your temperature in here. If you find that your temperature is too low to add your fragrance oils when you put it in your pot, then I suggest adding a few degrees to your Presto pot. For instance, I heat my wax to 186. I add my fragrance oil between 170 and 175. I know that when it comes out of my Presto pot into my pitcher, I have about a minute and then I can go ahead and add my fragrance oil. After that, you just let it cool. I let it cool until about 140, 145. It's okay if it drops below 140, but I try not to pour under 130. I just have bad luck at that temperature. Another thing to take note of is as you remove wax from your Presto pot, your temperature in there is probably going to go up. So you want to maintain your temperature by adjusting up and down depending on if you're taking wax out or putting more wax in. I love my Presto pot because I can make multiple batches at once. So the only issue is everything cools a lot quicker when you're using a Presto pot opposed to the double boiler method. So my rule of thumb is I wait until my first batch is almost ready to pour, and then I go ahead, make my next batch, get it out of the Presto pot into a new pitcher, add the fragrance oil, and let it cool while I'm pouring that first batch. Let me know if you have any more questions.